What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk here. The video is going to start in a second. Just wanted to let you guys know that this is a segment from my brand new podcast with Downtown Stephen Brown. All the links will be down below so you guys can listen to it. I'll put it as the pinned comment. Make sure to go and check it out. I believe it's only on Podbean right now, but it's going to be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically everywhere that you can get your podcasts. I think Google Play, all that stuff. So make sure to go and check out the full episode, the first one, down below. And there'll be clips posted on here of the podcast of certain discussions, and then you guys can listen to the full thing whenever you want down below. So make sure to go and subscribe to it, rate the podcast, whatever, whenever you can on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all those places. We'd really appreciate it. Enjoy the clip.
What's going on with Tyson Barrie? Is it Tyson Barrie or is it Mike Babcock? Because I'm seeing a lot of people that are kind of split right down the middle. That it's him, that he needs to be better, but I'm not sure. Andrew, what do you think?
I think that Tyson Barrie could be better because he is that talented, but I also do believe that Mike Babcock has created a problem. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because he is on technically what you would call our defensive pairing, because any pairing with Jake Muzzin on it is going to be a shutdown type of pairing where you want the guys to just, get pucks away from our net and cleanly get it out of the zone. Tyson Barrie, I tried to tell people, I'm sure have tried to tell people, and, a bunch of people who actually watch the games and look at statistics will tell you that Tyson Barrie is not good defensively. He just isn't. Before he came to Toronto, he wasn't good. So I don't know why people are really surprised. I mean, it's been said a million times. Tyson Barrie is an upgrade in terms of points over Jake Gardiner, but they are essentially equals when it comes to their own zone, and you might be able to give the edge to Jake Gardiner on that one as well in terms of how they break the puck out. So the problem I have with Babcock is he's trying to change the way Tyson Barrie's playing the game. Tyson Barrie is an offensively skilled, gifted defenseman. There is absolutely no reason for him to be given assignments defensively. Even though he should be responsible, he is not a defensive defenseman that needs to focus on that. You need to let that man run loose, pinch, try to score goals and put up points, because the man, what does he have, like 5 points to start the year? That's unacceptable.
I dropped him from my fantasy team last night in hopes
he has
that
5 assists.
He's got 5 assists, yes.
That's brutal.
And he's also hasn't really looked too good on the power play. Besides the first game of the season, I was at that game. I was fortunate enough to win tickets at the tailgate there, and I got to come up on stage and make a fool of myself and everything like that. So it's just anyway. Besides that first game where he had a really good, he kind of did like a spinorama. He pinched in, did like a spinorama move, and then fed the puck across the offensive zone to Ilya Mikheyev, who kind of batted it in. Besides that play, I haven't seen the electric offensive defenseman that Tyson Barrie was billed as.
Yeah, and I mean, he also touched on the fact that the systems are different in Colorado and Toronto, whereas he was able to do a little bit more pinching in and jumping into the zone, but in Toronto, he's not really given the green light as much because Mike Babcock has his systems and the way that he likes to play. And I can't remember who said it. Somebody said some sort of Maserati quote on Leafs lunch at some point, and they were talking about Matthews and Marner, and they're like, when you get a Maserati, you expect a Maserati, not just a normal car. Well, Kyle Dubas gifted Mike Babcock a Bugatti. Let's go with that. He gifted him a Bugatti, and he's trying to turn him into a Prius. So, why is this happening? I don't understand where this is coming from. Why is Mike Babcock making Tyson Barrie, who might become a rental, into his project? It's ridiculous. We traded Nazem Kadri away to acquire Barrie as the main piece, and Kerfoot was to replace Kadri, and he's done fine. Kerfoot, if you're looking at his numbers right now, Kerfoot has 8 points in 20 games. So he's not on the same pace as Kadri is. I think Kadri has more points than him right now, or at least they're kind of similar. but that Kadri deal was sweet. This Kerfoot deal is also sweet. So it's kind of a wash, whatever, right? You just don't have the same physical ability that Kadri brings. And see, that's part of the package too. You're giving away something that you kind of needed, but you're also acquiring a defenseman, another big scoring defenseman. And people are like, well, the Leafs don't need another scoring defenseman. Yeah, they really don't. But when you score the lights out of teams, you don't really need to defend all that much. So Tyson Barrie is not doing that. So it looks even worse on a guy like Dubas, but it's not even his fault. He gave Babcock what they needed, another defenseman that can at least play and give them a little bit more depth. Because then you can move. They were supposed to have other moves. They were supposed to have other guys in that top four to offset the defensive liability of Tyson Barrie, but Babcock's not using it. He's not using Justin Hall. He's not using Travis Dermott.
So to kind of wrap up that point, I spoke to a couple of Colorado Avalanche fans, and they kind of described Tyson Barrie as a rover out there. He really is a fourth forward out there, and when defensemen pinch, the wingers are expected to get back there and cover and whatnot, and that's just being responsible defensively as a team and whatnot. And when you have a defenseman like Tyson Barrie, he's been praised by Nathan MacKinnon. I believe the quote was Nathan MacKinnon never wanted Tyson Barrie to get off the ice because he was just so electric offensively. And then you have former coaches like Patrick Waugh calling him a fifth defenseman way back when in Colorado. I believe the quote was from like 2013 or 2014 or something like that. And what we're seeing now is closer to the Patrick Waugh assessment than it is to the Nathan MacKinnon assessment. But
I don't blame Tyson Barrie for this. I really do believe that his little statement that he said last week was him basically admitting that, okay, like, yeah, it's kind of hurting me a little bit that I can't put up points, but look at the system I'm playing in right now. They don't want me to be offensive. Like, they want me to be a defensive defenseman. Babcock wants him to reinvent himself. Like, we have this guy for literally less than a season now. Like, he's going to go somewhere else and show teams, hey, listen, if this keeps up all season, I still can put up a ton of points. Trust me, just don't make me a defensive defenseman and tell me I need to reinvent myself, how many years into my career after I've put up a bunch of points already and shown that I'm just a guy that lights the lamp. Like, why is Babcock trying to make this guy into some sort of, defensive stopgap for the team? It's not going to work, and it's never going to happen.